It has never been so fun for some of us to be here today as we talk about Dharma for the 5D Collective and our lovely matrix, not in the way of what 4D does. Totally different when you have sciences and spirituality allowing anyone who wants to do Dharma to know, get your inner child on board and become an inner child adult. So, number one, true spirituality and true mindful living. True because you can actively put it into practice, I should specify. So you can embody, and you are here if you want to embody the 5D frequency. It's unconditional love and it's really fun. I hear people in the enlightenment soul age group sound really boring about it. They don't actively have this grounding, the 5D vibration, because they are, when you have a body that has no pure energy body, which is your whole 3-year-old heart, you'll notice because they're like a motorcycle that's going, you know. So how can I explain? Well, one, it's if you want to hear the truth. A lot of people they don't like the truth. They always tell a divine feminine, looks like you know everything. What are you, Miss Perfect? I had a lot of that growing up. No, I'm not. I'm actually flawed and imperfect. I just like myself, just the way I am. Yes. So 5D people, we anchor in the vibration of love because we're like, I'm beautiful. Even if I were a cockroach, I'm still beautiful. So, with that being said, we're the authentic self. It's an inner child adult, which is why we know how to be playful. And when people insult, it really just becomes like, wow, they only blame Lucifer. They keep calling, people whores because we love more than one person. And then we like to dress differently. I mean, I get it. I don't like, yeah, a lot of the music of today doesn't make any sense to me, but I mean, I'm old, so I'm an old folk, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, whatever. And look, I'm wearing a bathing suit with a nice shirt, and actively I have people saying, so you do get more views. Yes, I do. Unfortunately, it's true. Whatever you wear, but, I like to notice that my collective is actively interested in what I post. So I know that because I don't do any of that sales pitch shit because I'm an online marketer. So I say, let me see what words I'm going to use and what I'm going to share and be authentic. Oh, I'm not afraid either of my community. Some people, they actively seek to be supported by the very people they're seeking to guide. I find it interesting, but I know that that's called we need each other and we're one herd. It's like the flat earthers. So international being and intelligence is the 5D people who anchor it in because we are pure consciousness. Doesn't mean we're perfect. No, it means that I have unconditional love. I'm authentically Maria. Maria's here with my implicit, explicit, all of it. I try to put it to the side. And that's why I have my good masculines keep me in check. They're good because they're actively masculines. I'm good because I'm actively a feminine. Doesn't mean we're good to other people. Now, we actively have human beings with low self-esteem who think that they can teach us how to have manners. That's called intelligence because Pacha don't waste time with people who don't have their unconscious, subconscious, so their inner child is dying inside. That's why they sound like a flat line. So I'm going to bring to you the 5D Mystic Enlightenment plane, and I know the 5D Mystic are going to be really happy because I know I was really bored, and I was also frustrated with all of the Cusco's mantles of spirituality, so spiritual bypassers, the squirrels, which are martyrs, superiors, and blamers, and they're all codependent, women, men, they get in the screen, on the screen, and they're structurally dissociating on screen. And when you tell them about structural dissociation, they don't admit it because they don't want to face those fears. They'll talk about Tara Brach, they'll talk about Bezel, Vanderkolk, they'll talk about all the good attachment trauma information. You won't see them applying the actual words so this is why they don't like us. Like a crow. I noticed that I don't do this anymore, by the way. I leave it alone. Oh, and we're gonna have a short and then we're gonna have an extended of this. But basically I leave alone people who don't know how to be grown-ups because I learned from the teenagers that I was around and then I got busy. So you get busy with life. Those who anchor in the vibration of love, we actively love every day more. We vibe at the frequency of our heart, body, and mind in harmony with the feminine, masculine, expanded and embodied and expressed. So I don't need, in fact, the masculines from my oversoul if they're not good. They actively will dumb me down, D-U-M-B, because they're not intelligent. No, they lack intelligence. They're a regurgitation of material, which is why they keep me humble, because they always will find a way to present to me an equation, and I'll say, you know what? That's a really good point. So our masculines, they are humbugs sometimes, and then other times they're amazing. feminines can be humbug and sometimes amazing. When you're embodying the full feminine, you're amazing, and the full masculine, you're amazing. Oh, it doesn't mean perfect. It just means you're a person who doesn't walk around with eggshells. You got a self, you got an ego. You don't have edges. It's called, you can laugh when people actively, again, think that they're teaching you manners while they're the sorry ass story of a human being who gets, and this is not one person. Believe me, I got men all over the place, which I'm like, wow, I know I'm a solo polyamory person, but it's because I'm selective. I'm picky. I don't build couple centric. No, I actively know how to spend my 24 hours. In fact, if I need to find wiggle room, that's the only equation for any polyamory secure person. Like, okay, I love to have safe haven secure base, number one. So they prioritize. Means anyone who knows how to vibe and self-regulate, excuse me. So again, owning your sense of self and being self-aware is what I'm talking about. It's really empowering to be able to anchor in this frequency as you live a life that is restorative embodiment and you're self-aware, accountable, regulating, which is your inner and outer well-being. With smart therapists, everyone will learn how to be here. They don't need me. In fact, you don't need me. I'm bonus. If you want me, I mentor and do one-to-one mentorship and masterclass material and spiritual because I am a mystic. We're going to have some fun with mystic stories because I have a lot of them for you. And that's why I wanted to do an extended. And again, remembering that we have this lovely eclipse coming in. So for the 5D collective, every day grows more blissful. Why? We own our sense of self. So when you own your sense of self and you are self-aware, accountable, and regulating, it gives you the possibility to vibe at the frequency of your own heart and body. This is your divine feminine. And oh my gosh, she's beautiful. And she's beautiful because I can self-regulate even when I'm having a panic attack. Yes, that's because of my divine masculine, my mind. And then I have mask in the left mode. My chit chatter is my friend, my ego, myself, my right mode, and there's no words here. It's only feelings, and then that's why I'm stupid to those humbug masculines and feminines. No, the feminines actively they do a whole different thing. Let me not go there. I'm still working to master equanimity in all areas where I actively feel dumbed down because I'm around narrow states of consciousness. I learned a lot as I got to grow up. Attachment trauma therapist, thank you so much. All my courses. Mindfulness is really great. As I finished that one up, I'm happy I got trauma and attachment and the in-depth neuroscience, neurobiology, interpersonal, all of that. That is actively what I was missing because everything else, I was like, I know what's going on. They explained it to me. Good masculines keep good feminines humble. We know it's important because the actual feminine is connected in such a way that we actively have Kali come up every time we have one of our lovely infinite higher potential masculines allow themselves to be basically whipped into shape, talked to like a piece of shit, and you're going to watch from afar. Feminines, we walk away because they're like, okay, it's none of my business how you are not utilizing the feminine that is within you. The masculines, it's none of my business because you're going to push me. You're going to treat me like a piece of shit, and I actively will understand that you don't choose love. You choose unfaced fears. You choose maladaptive, adaptive child pattern behaviors, which is why, again, science makes me humble because I knew about God and free will and the choice of Jesus and free will. And I knew about it very straightforwardly. In fact, as a teenager, it was very dry and cut. The minute that I recognized all of those unreliable people, I choose. That's why I said I'm picky. So polyamory or monoamory, if you have healthy self-worth, you're not smarter than other people. It's called my gut. My belly tells me something's off. If you're grown enough and mature enough, it's not conditional love. It's unconditional. I will though tell you what's going on here. And again, it's a fun day. So today we're going to continue our conversation about how when you do this spiritually and mindfully living, you get to live Dharma and you get to bring consciousness, unconsciousness, and subconscious to the forefront. So you get to be a whole person, yourself in life and relationships, and with unconditional love, you do present to people. Again, I have flaws, but I also have integrity. And I will consistently find, nurture, and grow enriching experiences and expansion of consciousness with those who vibe at the same frequency. The ones who are maladaptive or adaptive, we have a nice conversation. And if they choose to be able to work with us, we are all friends. Nobody loses people. The being yourself, though, is very important to note that those who don't choose their self, that's why they don't want to be around those of us who know how to see ourselves, to stay safe and secure. So they don't want to be around mentally, emotionally, and physically mastering intelligence because we actively will awaken that which wants to be healed from within them. So we have solid roots, or if there's brittle roots, you get to learn how to bring your roots deeper in. Okay, so the 5D collective, for some of us, I have the roots. They keep on going. They haven't been, because they're good. My foundation begins with a whole 1-year-old, a whole 3-year-old, secure attachment. Okay, so the whole stuff. Those who have brittle, they find their self through good therapy, and then once they're ready for mindful and spiritual practices, it's because they know that they can soothe their own nervous system. They can see their own inner child, so you're an inner child adult. You've reparented yourself. That's when your life begins. Your spirituality awakening is really once you awaken that you are a person who has a life with a herd. So you care about other people's thoughts and emotions and their physical safety. It's actively your spirituality. You don't need a twin flame. You're a human. You care about people. The minute you do, you will notice that if you are not having this, where are you, Sadhguru? 1 second, because he gives us a good quote today, and then I will let you go for now, and we'll be back. But here we go. My lovely phone likes to act really funny sometimes. Only in misery is life too long. In joy, it's too brief. And actively, when you are a person that is young at heart, because your adolescent brain leads the way, but it's an intelligent brain, because you did break free from those self-created boundaries and stuff like that. So thank you again. The ones who remain trapped, again, they don't want to be around us. They actively call us names. And then we also have, if no matter what is given to you, you can make something beautiful out of it, that is intelligence. So integration of the brain, mindful living, spirituality is a lifestyle, which involves what I learned already from Jesus and God. Sadhguru keeps on sharing in his own way. I love to hear him talk. He doesn't know the psych education. I do. And as a 5D mystic, we'll be back with more stories. So again, it's the 5D collective that whenever ascension energies come about, they expand to become more consciousness, more loving, more authentic, more inner and outer well-being. The divine feminines and divine masculines who are embodying their very specific energetic spectrum, they will know who they are. And again, we'll be back with some more stories. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. And please do remember, let's all stay humble, because we don't walk in other people's shoes. And if a person does not have that will to heal, you are not here to be the martyr superior unless you're still in the need for your own support, because the codependent people, they act rigidly and are unforgiving and harsh because they are leading with an adaptive child and or maladaptive child pattern of behavior in their mouth. Their love language is, I'm going to tell you who to be. Again, that's a 16-year-old version of their self, and it's a child that thinks they can tell others, and we don't need that energy, although it will stick around. 3D, 4D. It'll stick around because we don't affect states of consciousness. So the energy is not necessary, but then again, it's because if you don't take all those fragments and welcome yourself back home, and it is a painful, again, process. So please be aware that wanting to be awakened consciousness and consciously to all the parts of you and bring them whole to wholeness, it's your choice. And then once you're there, you will know of what it feels like to consistently navigate bliss and delight. And then to process when we come across loss and pain, because we do pick up on our frequency, the actual divine feminines, but not in a way of thinking that we're saving anyone. You can't save a person, meaning they're not, unless, we're physically, I need to grab you. I'm 4'9". I don't know if I'll be able to save someone. Okay. But other than that, mental and emotional, I can't save you. I actively cannot regulate your nervous system. And if you don't choose to see your fake sense of self and then return home and get your true sense of self, then I'm not going to be able to do anything. No matter what I exchange with you, you see, you're going to remain blinded to the fact that there's more to you. I'll notice it. You won't. And that's where some people, they never notice it because they don't hear themselves when they're speaking about life, them, da-da. Again, thank you for stopping by. We'll be back with more. Have a good one.